Hello, thank you for joining me again this week. Now, I know last video I said I would be using my slingshot and bench press t-shirt to have a go at 150, but it's a mistake I'm prone to making, thinking that I don't need to break the equipment in or get used to wearing it. So with my slingshot here, I put it on. I didn't get any footage, but when I went too big it just crashed and burnt. But I got a good few reps at 90 kilo with it, which I'm happy with, and it's a work in progress. So maybe revisit that after the Irish Pro and World Championships around September, and hopefully into October I might get into a bomb squad competition where you're allowed to wear this. I'm looking forward to when that can come, and until then I'm probably going to have to leave that by and focus more on my raw training for the big Irish Pro Invitational, which will be in 6 weeks' time. With last video and using a bit of equipment for my lifting, people's asked me what is equip lifting, so I thought I'd detail it a bit more. This is my bench shirt. It's the Titan Fury. It's for flat backers, as you can see the straight sleeves. The equivalent of this for a arched bencher would be the Titan F6, but I can't arch very much, so I stick to the Fury. If you look there, it has some very special stitching which enables you to get a bigger bench press. If we lay this flat down, we see how the arms stick up, and that's just how it works with the stitching. The chest plate there is where all the pressure comes from that allows for the bigger weight. Like for example, my raw bench PB is 115 kilos and my PB with this on is 20 kilos above. So I'm going to show you how to put this on now. So I'm going to put my bench shirt on now. Like any normal t-shirt, you stick your head through the head hole and you put your arms where the arms are supposed to go, but here's where it tends to get tricky, so I'm going to ask my mum to come over here and give me a bit of help. So she's going to pull down, pull around back, nice pull. So I'm wiggling my arms now to try and get them as deep down in the suit, and she's going to pull around the collar to help achieve that. I'm just going to keep moving and moving and moving this arm, because as it's moving, it's causing the sleeve to ride up. We'll just do this side a bit more. Right, and one final pull at bottom. Right, so that's how to put on your bench shirt. The main thing I think you need to remember and always look out for is, if you look there, the bottom of the sleeve can't be covering your elbow. I'd just get away with that, but if it's too long, you can simply cover it by just fold it over like that, or you can go to specialist places. Now there's not many over here in England. Pullham, they're very good with that, and in America, Anderson's Powerlifting, they can chop and change your bench shirt, your squat suit, your deadlift suit, so it fits you perfectly. But I'm quite happy with this. Another thing, you saw me struggling to get it on. You can use the shirt slippers or the suit slippers depending on what you're trying to put on, or plastic bags tend to work very well. I don't use either, but I've got some suit and shirt slippers on order and I will be using them when they come. But as you've seen with me, you don't need them. It will be a benefit though. So anyway, the shirt fits well, and it just slightly, you see that I'm trying to get my arms down and down, but that stitching I showed you earlier around there, you can't get, for me, I can't bench less than 90 kilos with this, just because it won't go down. Like, I'll get 70 kilos and it'll just stop there. So now that I've showed you about the bench shirt, I'll show you about the squat suit. Here it is, the Titan Superior. As you can see, the stitching around the legs, that just does what the stitching on the bench shirt does. That's where all the support and the drive is from. The stitching around the top is nice, strong. I'm very confident in that stitching, and that'll never break. You get a lifetime warranty on the stitching for blowouts, and that's the stitching from the inside. You can see the 3 stitches. They're that strong, they aren't ever gonna break. And you can see the stitching around the edges. As I've mentioned before with the bench press shirts, you can get that sent to a specialist, like we've got Pullum, and in America there's Anderson's Powerlifting, and they can chop and change that to perfectly suit you and your sizes. Same there, you may see a lot of lifters with that on the top of their suit, and that's because they've had a bit taken off, so it's more tighter on them. And I was thinking about doing that, but with this not being my full-time suit, I'm not gonna do that. I'd just like to correct myself. It's not a lifetime guarantee on blowouts. It's 1 year. A blowout is where the stitching on the suit, just blows out in the name. So it's happened on the world stages where it's cost people big lifts, but you just have to deal with it. And it's never happened to me. Hopefully it never will, and fingers crossed it don't. So this is how to put the squat suit on. I've already got it up part way my leg. I use someone to help me with that. It's really hard to get on. I struggle with my bench shirt, but I really struggle with my squat suit. Now, the squat suit can be used for deadlifting as well. I do that, and I've had some great success with it. But I do have a deadlift suit on order. I'll be using the Titan Velocity one. This is the Titan Superior Squat Suit. As I said, I've had great success with this, but it is regarded as the bottom of the barrel, like the worst one. But again, I can't see how up with it. I do have the Super Centurion Squat Suit on order, which is supposed to be the top quality, best one, which it's all on a big order from America. I'm looking forward to getting that. I've been waiting for it for 12 weeks and it has just been dispatched a few days ago. So we get the straps and we get them above our shoulder. We want to keep them nice and straight for comfort. While you're deadlifting, you don't have to wear a t-shirt like in raw lifting. Same with a squat, you've got to wear a t-shirt. I'll get it up and mainly just get some nice stretches done to get it as high up as possible. Good favourite of mine, just sliding side to side while pushing it up, or just sumo deadlifting, that one really works. Squats in general from any width. See, just little slides up, just pulling and pulling and pulling. While squatting and deadlifting, you can wear some briefs. I don't have any at the moment, but I do have some Super Centurion briefs on order. I will be wearing them, and it's just like a second layer from there downwards. So in effect, it's like 2 plies. You may as well be wearing multiply gear, and you have people hitting big numbers just wearing the briefs. So hopefully that helps a lot with my squats and deadlifts going forward. But I'm happy with this, and I'd highly recommend it for beginners. I'll talk a little bit about knee wraps now, but I'm going to do a completely separate video later on about how I tie them and how other people tie them. This is a knee wrap. You wrap them around your knees, a bit like that, really tight. This one that I've got is a SBD training one. I use different ones in competitions depending on what federation it is. You tie these around your knees. Everyone in equip lifting does it for the squat. It's not often anymore that people tie them for the deadlift. I do know one person that does tie them for the deadlift. It's not for me. But you just tie them round. I'm just going to tie them really loosely. You tie them and tie them. Some people like this. I tie them in a different way. But it just really... I've tied it like wet paper towels. But it just restricts that movement a bit more. Like in classic raw competitions, you're allowed to wear these knee wraps or knee sleeves. Knee sleeves, you might get 5 kilos out of them. These, some people get 50 kilos out of them. It's a no contest which I'd use. I'd always recommend these knee wraps. For training, I use the SBD training ones, as I've mentioned. For competitions, I'll either use the Titan THP or the Titan Signature Gold. The Signature Gold that I have are 3 meters long, which are not IPF approved. So, as you may guess, if I'm in an IPF competition, I'll use my THP ones because they're 2 meters, which makes them IPF approved. Hopefully my equip gear will have arrived next week. If it has, next week's episode will be detailing the multi-ply gear and the single ply gear that I have got. If it hasn't arrived and it's still in Texas, I will do a video on knee wraps versus knee sleeves, how I tie my knee wraps, how other people tie their knee wraps, if I use knee sleeves and when, and just anything you could possibly want to know about knee sleeves or knee wraps will be in there if my equip gear hasn't arrived. Thank you for watching this video, I hope you join me next week.